I'm simulating walking.
Does he look like any of your professors?
Yeah, wait. What? Do you think I'm going to say that on camera? Whether or not he looks like any of the professors?
Well, you're done with them now.
Yeah, I still respect them as people.
Let's all congratulate our Andrew.
Oh.
Our Andrew just graduated college with a master's in
comics literature. Comicsology is a website.
All right, this isn't true, but he did just graduate college. We are very proud of this kid.
Oh.
And just yesterday, our Andrew graduated.
It feels like just yesterday.
We got you this card.
What?
It's just a card. Don't get
It's just a
upset.
card. There's no money in it.
I don't care. It's,
We spent all our money on that guy.
oh my gosh, you got. So you were waiting for this.
No,
Oh.
we had to get Frank to sign. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what the business stuff was?
No, the business stuff was just to get away
Yes.
from customers that were in here.
Okay, that's it.
Just kidding.
Oh.
We had a business meeting in the
This is
back.
I just see a little foot. I'm assuming it's Stuart Little.
It's a little foot. Little foot.
Oh!
Stuart Little card.
If you like the card, I picked it out. If you don't, Penelope picked it.
I love it.
Who do you think picked it out?
I think you suddenly had a couple mind meld and you simultaneously.
Suddenly, we always have a couple
Oh,
more.
okay. Now I
Let's see
gotta-
the front of that card.
No, Justin said, I don't care about this. You do it.
That's not what I said. Matter of fact, it was my idea to go get the card.
Oh.
Justin, did you write in there what you said you were going to write?
No, I was going to say I hope your last year of college was better than The Last Jedi. But I assume it was, so I didn't even need to write it in there. And I didn't want in 20 or 30 years Andrew to look back nostalgically at his card and be reminded that all I ever talked about was how bad The Last Jedi was. Yes.
Oh, absolutely I am.
Yeah, I think that I didn't want to
I'll tell you
tarnish
what.
his memory
It has a superhero
with my busting his chops about incessantly about how bad The Last Jedi
You
was.
could have fit in another Last Jedi bit.
I could have done a
You-
ton. I could have done a ton.
You're a sweet man, Justin.
Yeah.
Well, if I was in your shoes, I would have gone, because again, Justin, for viewers just tuning in, is holding on hope that I someday will come to the sudden realization that Last Jedi was an awful movie. And so, if I was you, I would have gone with. I didn't want you to feel bad 20 years ago that you liked a bad movie or something along those lines.
Well,
But no, you took the higher route, and
I did
respect
take
you
the
for
high
it.
road on that. Yes,
You're a good man.
I gave you some advice.
Yeah, you did.
My dad gave me 2 pieces of advice in his life before he passed away. The first was Justin. Wait, I'll do this. Justin, don't ever get married. That was one of them.
That's not what he said to me
Failed.
on his deathbed. Not what he said to me.
Oh my God.
Just for the record.
I failed that one.
Not what he said
Don't
to me.
ever get married. And and this was about money. Get next to me when I got it. I don't know if that's advice or just
That's really not advice.
when he had money. Get next to him when he has it because it goes fast. And other than that,
Well,
there you go. Did you learn anything like that in college?
About money?
About anything?
I learned a whole lot about transcendentalism and existentialism.
Good, great. Did you read some Camus? This is getting way too deep here. This is.
Well, no. You know what? Like, hold on. I will say this because, like, if the whole point of academia is to come out of it differently, then I failed because I went into it. No, let me tell you why. I went into it hating Catcher in the Rye, and then we had to read Catcher in the Rye again. Well, I didn't read it once in college. I read it in high school, and then I
don't hate Catcher in the Rye, but I don't like Holden Caulfield.
I think both of those statements are true. I don't like it, and I don't like Holden Caulfield. But yeah, so I went into it hating Catcher in the Rye, and my wonderful professor John Lore tried his. Well, he didn't. He was
Standing in for John Lore today.
Oh my God, he loves Star Wars. You know what? Proud comic college achievement. I got him to read Saga. He's reading Saga now because of me. I always like to encourage people to read comic books.
There you go. Speaking of which,
I have some. A lot of which.
well, the top of your hat, you decorated.
So I didn't even say. Yeah, everyone's like, what are you going to do something special for your motherboard cap?
I didn't even know this was a thing.
This is totally a thing.
I didn't know people did this.
This is a thing a lot of people do.
Because I never graduated from high school.
Oh.
Why is that funny?
It's not funny.
Or college.
It's not funny. I'm momentary.
Are you sad for me and laughing?
Emotional gut punches. Whenever you say something
I
like
did just fine for myself in life.
I love you, and you're a wonderful man.
Oh, my mom's watching now. Hi, Mom.
I don't know how to react. episode.
The reaction is, well, you did just fine for
You
yourself.
did just fine, Justin.
Yeah,
You did,
after some real hard
you did
years.
spectacular, Justin.
Thank you.
You're a business owner.
My mother says congrats.
Oh, tell her to say. Oh no, I'm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
there
I
you go.
can do it. Yeah, yeah. You're a pillar of the community. You are a
I don't know about a pillar, but
salt of the earth businessman. But yeah,
I am
so
a
a
salt of the
lot
earth.
of people. I don't know.
he
Yeah.
did. Yep.
So a lot of people put like they go to Michael's and they do like something related to
A
the
decoupage kind of thing.
Yeah, something that speaks to them. I have a bunch of comic illustrations lying at my house, so I cut up the images of those and.
What do we got? Rom. We got
Yeah.
Gem.
So actually, there are 3 layers to this. There are 2 layers that are not visible.
That's how much you love
That's how many.
comics.
I love that. Okay, Exiles.
Hi, Mom.
Actually, fun fact: you can see here this little side is one of the comics I brought in today. So that's a little. I mean, her head's covered by Gem.
I see what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Are those comics that we are paying you with that you're tearing up and putting on?
No, this is solicits.
I'm just.
Oh yeah. Well, that was my mother. She goes to me. She's like, "Are you defacing your comics?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I would ever, like me." Avengers #1 was on the show too. T'Challa somehow made it on this cat twice.
Wow.
So, that's MCU money right there.
It really is.
You get to be on the cat twice. The Mighty Mightor. I reviewed this on the show. A lot of good stuff. A lot of books I like.
Very Andrew-esque.
Made sure Jem got front and center.
I see that.
Yeah. So books for today. Like I said, the previously mentioned Domino #2.
Hot character now because she's in Deadpool.
I'll be sure to get into it. Ghostbusters #5, the final issue of the miniseries.
Okay.
And then, I think I've touched on this before. There are like I make like a pre-list basically of comic.
Andrew, don't touch my helmet.
Just comics I think.
I don't even know what I'll do. I can barely move these days.
Go, my son. You tell your sister.
Andrew, I need your phone.
Oh shoot! Yeah. Justin, talk about.
I just need you to hand me your phone. It's fine.
Okay.
So we, as a group tonight, are going to go see Deadpool 2. Oh, I need coffee.
What are you going to be doing tonight, Justin?
Andrew's going to be doing a. Is this live or is this a podcast recorded?
It's a recording, I believe.
So Andrew and our friend Dan Grote from WMQ Comics and also of Atlantic City Press fame. Great guy, wrote a book that we have here in the store. Just a local comic aficionado. He and Andrew are going to be doing a podcast from here in the store.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about, obviously doing my best to represent Team Farpoint, #Team Farpoint, and also just talking a little bit about. I don't know if it's a general comics discussion. I do know. I
think it's an IDW.
I pitched to him an IDW conversation, and so I think he wants to get into a little bit about the store and then just general comics. So it's going to be a multi-tier conversation for your wonderful listening ears.
There you go.
And obviously, if I can talk about the IDW continuity coming to a close or a pause or whatever it is, I'll friggin' do it. But yeah, what I was saying is there are comics. I make lists of comics I think are going to end up with Fridays with Andrew. It seemed like Barrier wasn't going to make the... Barrier was on that pre-list, and lo and behold, Barrier was here.
So you were right.
Well, I was right and wrong, because I read Isola too, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's impossible for this not to get on this list. And Barrier too. So
Cool.
we'll get into
Rock and roll. So you're about to hear the first, folks, the first Fridays with Andrew comic review of a college graduate.
Yeah,
so he's much
I have
more
a degree,
learned
yeah.
than last week.
Absolutely. That's what all that money was for. So yeah. I wasn't even here. Was I here last week? No, I wasn't talking about comics last week. I was talking about Mystic Legions.
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, I know. We missed you. You were talking a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna breeze through this because this is basically like the final chapter of a book.
Okay.
It's the culmination. I've talked about this series at least one other time.
Is it called What Dreams May Come?
I think that's this particular issue.
Wow.
A lot of issues have a title.
Are they in heaven?
No, they're fighting the 2016 Ghostbuster version of the Boogeyman. The real Ghostbusters Road. They've done him translated into that movie. So like you see, he's a little bit more. I don't want to say edgy, but like you know, the makeup department for that movie said they were inspired by Walking Dead. Let's say he's a little more Walking Dead-esque.
I didn't see it. So.
I'm telling you, production. I don't know how to describe that aesthetic, that design. I did talk to Cord Howell, at the artist who did design the Boogeyman, at AwesomeCon. I haven't transcribed that interview yet.
I think my mother is losing her mind, but okay. Dan Ostroff just said congrats.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate it. So so they're going up against their universes, because there's a Ghostbuster multiverse. Their universe's version of the Boogeyman, who was an insane scientist who he was kind of a version of the Scarecrow, experimenting with nightmares, experimenting with fears. As a ghost, can manipulate nightmares and fears. Is feeding off psionic energy, and so they are figuring out a way to defeat him after he royally trounced them the first time they encountered, because they weren't ready to fight their own fears, but now they have. Through a Deus Ex Machina way to combat the psychological effects of his powers. So a lot of character stuff culminating, a lot of great action scenes. This is, again, I've been enjoying the miniseries throughout, so this is a really good finishing chapter. I don't know about the whole miniseries, but I would give this a B+.
This book itself.
This as an ending.
So now that this is over, you could probably get a trade is going to be solicited for the entire deal.
I think we get a trade 3 months from now.
Okay.
So, you know, for people
would
who
you recommend it?
I would recommend this to... I would not recommend this to the original movie fans. I would recommend this to a general Ghostbuster fan, like someone who's a fan of the entire franchise, fans of the comics, fans of their specific movie. And
there's only 3 of those people.
Well, yeah, I got one already, so I already... But, no, and then also... No, genuinely, real Ghostbuster fans. Like the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were calling people out for being real Ghostbusters fans.
No.
If they like this movie.
It's not like...
You're not a real Ghostbusters fan.
I didn't name their cartoon, Justin.
Right, I got you.
No. Yeah, so those, like... Because there are a lot of different people think Ghostbusters is blank. You know what I... Because Ghostbusters is like one of those franchises that's had a lot of different iterations.
Sure.
So, yeah, so... A general all-in, like, a la carte Ghostbuster fan, I think would like this. A comic Ghostbuster fan.
But if you are solely a fan of the first movie...
If you are coming in for Bill Murray, this will not... or even that style of comedy, it's a little... Kelly Thompson has her own unique style. She's the writer. She has her own unique style of comedy. This isn't really...
Fair enough.
That. So though... Did I say 4 different... I think I said 4 different types of fans. If you're one of those 4 kinds of people, you'll like this.
Okay.
So I would recommend the trade for... one of those 4 kinds of people.
Cool.
Now then, we got something old out of the way. Let's do something basically new for the show, because I didn't talk about Domino #1.
You didn't?
Do you know why? What beat Domino #1?
I don't remember.
Exiles #1.
Okay.
Little Wolvie beat this.
Christ.
Anyway, so...
Let's look at that cover.
Pretty swanky cover, right?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Pretty swanky.
Look at all them guns.
Look at all them guns. Look at all those knives.
Now, I'm not, I mean, I know Domino. I think she was in the X-Force.
Yes.
Other than that, I really don't know anything about the character.
So you want me to tell you the character right now?
Lay it on me.
Alright, so she is a mercenary whose mutant ability is to basically be lucky.
Okay.
You know, she is able to tap into certain... I thought I moved further. She is able to tap into certain...
Once again, Andrew.
Play the curb music. She's able to tap into certain psionic forces that like enable events to play out in her comic stuff.
Yes.
You know,
to the extreme. Lucky to the extreme.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. These days, so this is her first solo book. I forget if this is an ongoing or a mini-series, but she's never had a Domino before. You know, she's been on various teams. She's been a supporting character in Deadpool and Cable. This is finally a book of her own. And issue #1, by the way, was fantastic. I just thought Exiles #1 was better. Issue 2 continues with that funness. It continues off. There was a cliffhanger in issue 1. It picks up immediately after that at Domino's birthday party, basically, and involves her coming to terms with a... They do the thing that stops their mutant power from working thing, trope. I don't know what that's called, but they do it in an interesting way. there's a new kind of there's a new kind of angle that not only
She break a mirror.
she met a black cat. No, not only is her powers being taken away, but sometimes maybe they even go the other end. Maybe they're working too much, and that's sort of something that I hope gets played out further in the series and something we haven't seen. At least I haven't seen before in comics. I've seen a ton of I did this to take your power away. I've never seen the opposite end of that, so that's kind of interesting. So this is some biases. Gail Simone. This is written by Gail Simone. She's been one of my favorite writers for the past 6 years, since like 2012, basically. I love, like Kelly Thompson. She's a very funny writer. She's a very humanist writer. She's really, really great when it comes to characterization. That's one of my. Let's show a little bit of art here, and I forgot to do it with Ghostbusters, but I think this fellow's name was David Beldion. He is a guy familiar with. He's done a few X-Men adjacent books before. I believe he worked on IDW's Micronauts for a little bit, so I'm endeared to him from that angle. A lot of interesting faces. I
just saw that. Yeah, I just saw like a really extreme.
He does. It's sort of traditional comic book style, slightly stylized. Like, this isn't one of those heavy stylized styles, but there's an element of stylization to it. I really like the way he does frowns. The character just frowns in his style.
That's very specific. Is Spidey in there?
That's Deadpool. Oh, that is Spidey.
No, that's not Deadpool.
Yeah, that's Spidey. That's Deadpool.
I can't see over where you're pointing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Deadpool.
That's Deadpool. That's Spidey.
Okay.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. I like the one thing I will say the most that I enjoyed about this issue. I'm a big continuity guy. I like when people reference continuity or can enrich a story via continuity. Domino really highlights the bigness of a superhero universe. Like, not only are there just cameos for the sake of having cameos, it all kind of fits in and kind of
love it.
Makes her part of something.
I actually
bigger.
don't like when a character feels like they're in their own small universe within the bigger universe. I like to feel like everything else is going on around that character as well.
And it this is definitely that.
Cool.
And it benefits from that as opposed to detracting from that.
Good.
I will say also, this is just a little fanboyism. Gail Simone loves bringing, like, in addition to just making new characters, she does love bringing back sort of, not forgotten, but like sort of characters who haven't been played with in a little bit. She does that for a character she actually created called Outlaw, and also, more interestingly to me, Diamondback, who was a Captain America villain, love interest, villain, supporting character, villain, ally,
all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place. So it's interesting to see her as part of. It seems like she's really being built as part of Domino's supporting cast going forward, and it's just nice to see her being operational in the universe after having a bit of an absence. So grade. A-. A-.
Wow.
Really, really fun action stuff. Really good character stuff. I will say, that the next comic we're going to be talking about is another political comic. So I will say that this is more of your traditional adventure action stuff. So for people who don't really want,
Frank would like it.
Yeah, I think Frank would like it.
It's a comic book.
It's
action, adventure, superhero done.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about like. Do you know what one of the first Superman stories was about?
Lifting a car off of somebody?
No, he's going on. He's fighting a lobbyist.
Oh my god.
No, 100% genuinely, like a Siegel and Schuster story. He was fighting a lobbyist. Like, politics have kind of always to an extent been around in comics, but so have action, adventure, just general stuff. So I think it's always, both have always been around. There's room for both forever, and this is very much the action adventure one. I couldn't remember if it was latter or former. So yeah, A-, really fun stuff. Honestly, I hope this isn't ongoing, and I hope Gail Simone can play with this character for a while, because she seems to really...
It's also going to depend on how well Deadpool does and is received, because this character is in the new Deadpool movie.
Yeah, that's obviously why this series got made.
Unfortunately,
really
the movies drive the interest in the characters.
To an extent.
Yes.
Comics is so weird in a sense. It's an insular economy that is also factored in by the random whims of other extra sensory factors. So,
and in English, that means?
Sometimes they get to do whatever they want. Sometimes they have to listen to other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have to work within the framework of the movie universe sometimes.
But only,
Sometimes.
So it's weird. It's like
Yeah, it's when they're gearing up to make the movie.
whenever Disney decides to pay attention,
Yeah.
it becomes a marketing thing. But I was talking about, so yeah, we're away from Marvel and DC again. We're back on indie. Justin, let's talk about, yeah. You know, the last time we talked about a political comic, I'm pretty sure it was Snagglepuss. You know, the gay rights in America, a very controversial topic. Let's talk about something simpler. Let's talk about something not controversial at all. Let's talk about immigration in America.
Oh my god.
Barrier.
What am I looking at on the cover? Is that a bone and blood?
That is a horse bone.
Okay. Oh, and ribs. Okay, I see what I'm saying now.
Okay, so Barrier. What to say about Barrier? For one, I am talking about a comic review that I haven't really read, and I will explain why. Is that the right issue? Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, it's the right issue. I'm sorry, I missed something. Anyway, yeah, Barrier. I haven't read some of this part. Do you know why I have not read some of this part? Some of this comic.
No.
Justin. A large portion.
Because you didn't do your homework.
A large portion of this comic is in Spanish.
Oh.
There are two primary characters. One is in English. There are two POV characters, point of view characters. One is a widow who has her late husband's ranch on the Texas border. The other is a immigrant from Honduras.
Wow.
They both get abducted by aliens.
Tegucigalpa is the capital of Honduras.
Andrew, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Sure.
Is this your pile of books for this week?
Yes, it is. Oh yeah, I don't want to get too spoilery, and I don't want to show some other images as well. Yeah.
Nolo, can you have what? What are you referencing, Nolo? Nolo Vale just said, "Can I have it?"
Barrier?
I don't know what they're asking for. Sometimes people are behind us, so
So
he might need your hat.
I bought these. We can buy comics for you though. You should ask us about our subscription service, where I am able to hook you up with some sweet comic goodness, be them trades, back orders, or upcoming releases.
Amen.
Anyway, Barrier. So they made this. By they, I mean the creators Brian K. Vaughan and Marcos Martin. Made this comic in Spanish. Made it in a language that they knew a lot of their readers wouldn't be able to read, and encouraged them to buy it anyway. With the idea being, the medium of comics could really kind of tell the story they wanted to tell. The kind of story of people isolated by barriers, be them sociological, physical, or personal.
I get it.
Yeah, and you know, so just through the art and through the body language and through the circumstances, we're able to infer what these characters are and what their motivations are.
So Nolo is a Boricua, and because this book is partly in Spanish, he's like, "Can I have that book?" Well, you can buy the book, Nolo, but
yeah, absolutely.
It's not free.
We would be happy to order it for you.
Yes, absolutely.
We would be happy. Let me tell you, it is a great read, and it is. This is issue 2 of a 5-issue miniseries,
Yeah.
so obviously there's still mysteries to be unveiled on the exact nature of what is happening. From the first 2 issues that I have read, issue 1 a little bit, issue 2 more specifically, obviously because I'm talking about issue 2, it is a really, really good read, and it is really, really interesting how they play up certain expectations of well, not even that. Like, let me give you an example. Neither of the 2 POV characters can speak the other one's language. So
are they together?
They are together.
Okay.
They are by issue 2. They are physically together.
Yep.
So Liddy already realizes they're in space, and Oscar does not. So she's trying to figure out a way to convey to him that they're in space.
So this is Darmok.
Do you know what she? Do you know? You'll have to. I'm not familiar with that. But do you know what she? What? Do you know what she says to him to convey that they're in space? She says Star Wars, and he instantly knows what she means.
So
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's all over it's everything. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like there was. I'm pretty sure there wasn't there. I forget what product it was. It was like milk or something. There was like these kids at school, and neither of them spoke each other's language, but it's like Chewbacca, and then like they start making Wookiee noises together.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, that's how you find common ground.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
how people bridge gaps
or barriers.
Right.
I mean, and that's like, you know, what Vaughn has said is he hopes that this instills empathy in people in a what he sees as an unempathetic age.
Right.
And I think, in addition to just being beautiful, Martin's illustrations are
Wow, that's great, Spacey. Wow.
great space stuff.
Yeah.
In addition to just being beautiful, I do think it does a really good job.
Man, do you read the whole book like this?
Yeah. Well, so here's a little bit of a more
The
of a,
shape of it, it's shaped strange.
It's
Yes.
sideways.
No,
Yeah.
that's not a normal size for a comic.
yes, it is. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit longer.
Wow.
Longer.
Good luck getting that graded.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, you know,
Bubba Hotep comic?
I got a Bubba Hotep comic.
Ridiculous.
Focus.
See, I know what that is. No, but oh yeah, I'm almost done. We talked a lot about expanding the form of comics. You know, playing with the format. It's one of those mediums that really allows for experimentation and fun stuff. Doing the format like this is one of them, and I guess in a lot of ways it allows for Martin's particular style to shine through. In other, I like to think there's some deeper thing involving barriers about it being shaped this way that I haven't
Possibly, I'm sure.
come up with yet. But in general, though, this is a solid A book. This is a fun read. I know I do. I'm
So are you going to attempt to decipher the Spanish part of it?
at some point, I think I'm just gonna hit Google Translate. They really discourage not to do it though, because they really want you to try and grasp what's happening
You should.
With-
Oh. By context clues.
by context clues.
Okay.
But
But it's also nice to learn some...
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna try and do a few rereads blind.
Oh, Frank is calling.
Oh, dude.
I didn't decline because I can't answer the phone when I'm on a video. Penelope, give Frank a call with your phone.
Sure.
Fabulousness. All right, great. So,
Where's my phone?
one quick thing.
Nolo said he'll translate it for us. You know what would be really cool? To
Oh.
sit and read that book with someone who speaks, well,
Yeah,
obviously the
sounds-
Spanish speaker would probably speak English as well, but someone who can, you
Yeah.
and somebody else who could read
That
the
sounds like
Spanish
such
parts.
a fun read.
It sounds super fun.
And yeah, a super fun reading experience. They're smart guys. They're smart guys. But yeah. So Domino, Ghostbusters, and Barrier. And really quick, I had two, like the Andrew recommendeds. We still don't have a name for it.
Andrew recommends.
Andrew recommends. All right, great. So Andrew recommends. I had two, and I'm not sure which one to go with. Because whatever one I don't do is gonna go in the next one.
Giveaway. No es gratis. Do you even know what the fuck I said?
No,
Excuse
but
my language.
I context clues.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yo habla poquito español.
Okay, you know what? I'm thinking. All right, pick Justin. Door number one. Door number two. Well, I'm thinking which one's mine. Which? Okay,
2.
two.
Yep.
So, DC Looney Tune crossovers.
Oh my god.
Wave
I
two.
did this yesterday.
We did. And she said he's going to love it.
So someone wished on a monkey's paw on my behalf because all of the titles. So yeah, let me try and remember just off the top of my head. It's Gossamer Harley Quinn, which is my favorite. Catwoman, Sylvester the Cat and Tweety.
No, I didn't say no. Maybe I did.
One other one.
I said it's not free. No es gratis. Gratis.
One other one I can't remember. And this ticks
Mi
me off.
español es muy bueno.
Joker?
Muy malo.
Joker and Daffy Duck. Now I should love that pairing because I love the Joker and I love Daffy Duck. Do you know why I don't like this pairing, Justin?
Because it's ridiculous.
They got it written by a hack. They have it written.
Ryan Johnson's writing comic books now? Oh, man!
That was epic. Sick burn. Sick burn.
It's not Ryan Johnson?
Am I ready to talk now?
Yes.
Scott Lobdell, a guy who arose in the '90s and should have stayed there. Frankly, I do not like to.
Gratis. Am I saying it right? Free. Gratis? Gratis?
I do not like to harp on specific people.
Yes, me neither.
I don't.
But some people deserve it.
All right, Justin's so happy right now.
I am, because you never down anyone.
I don't.
And now you feel my
I really
pain.
don't like this guy, and he. It's not just that he's not. It's not.
I'm feeling you, brother.
It's not just that I think he's a hack.
You're feeling
He's
you.
off, no, legit.
And how did they trust him
He
to write?
Justin. He's How real am I allowed to get on this live stream?
What do you mean? Reel it up.
He's been predatory to certain women and using his ability as a writer to do
Like
that.
Malcolm McDowell?
Yeah, and like he's confessed to it. Like
Being a
he's,
bad writer?
the bad writer, Scott Lobdell.
He's confessed to being a bad writer.
No, he's confessed to preying on
Gratis.
fans using
Am I saying it right?
using his writer status.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so mature now. Even though I didn't say it until after I got caught."
Was there a controversy with this guy going on?
No, you're thinking of Eddie. So there's a lot of predatory people in comics.
Okay.
But he's one of the smaller fish, let's say. But he still used his position to try and coerce certain women into things, and I think that's disgusting. So I just think he's a disgusting guy in addition to being a known talent. So I hate that he's doing the one crossover.
So-
No, he's not here yet.
Where is a line drawn between a guy trying to get laid and a guy coercing a woman? Boy, we're taking a left turn here, aren't we?
Yeah, well, that's why I said, how real should I get on this live stream?
Yeah, so I know there's a. Listen, what Bill Cosby did is so wrong.
Right.
But me saying, "Hey, I'm in a band," you know, you like guys in band. I don't know, like where's?
But don't you think there should be two separate conversations?
What do you mean?
Like I like you as a person. You know, maybe let me be a foot in the door for you, and I'm
No, that's
interested-
called getting into the friend zone first.
Oh my
Sometimes you
gosh.
need to make your. But
No,
what doesn't a woman doesn't want you beating around the bush. Why would a woman want you beating around the bush if like, are you trying to be my friend or are you interested in me? Some women want to know if you're interested or
Okay,
not.
But yeah, I don't. But like,
You don't use your station of power above other people.
I'm not saying to do that. Absolutely not to
but that's
use it
what
above other
that's
people.
what he did.
Okay, well,
That's the problem.
Yeah, and he again, unlike a lot of situations, he flat out admitted it. But again, he only admitted it after he got caught.
which is everybody does. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't. Does that seem like an earnest? Does that seem like an earnest apology then?
I don't know. I don't know the guy.
I mean, I was only ever in a room with him at the same times. I did not have a face-to-face interaction.
How do you smell?
Huh? Well, the room was full of a bunch of nerds. It smelled awful. I couldn't tell if that was specifically him. But again, I want to get back to something positive. The other crossovers seem like such fun, such greatness, and I'm really, really excited for those.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna buy the Daffy and Joker one for the backup issue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I'm really not a Lobdell guy on any. So thank you,
Oh, Andrew.
whoever did that Wish on the Monkey's Paw to get me another Looney Tune DC crossover. I thank you. Why?
Hey, good things are happening for you, Andrew.
Yeah, you know what? No matter what, this is worth all the Scott.
Be
Lobdell.
proud, my man. Be proud.
Thank you.
Be very proud of that.
I love you both,
And
and Frank too.
and how's that debt? You have any debt from that?
Less than you think.
Congratulations,
Thank
Andrew.
you so much. Man.
So,
Andrew recommends Looney Tunes DC crossovers. Basically, Gossamer and Harley Quinn, Black Catwoman and Sylvester the Cat, also written by Gail Simone, and another one I can't remember. If you have to get the Joker and Daffy Duck one, fine.
we are going to go see Deadpool. We got some crazy stuff in recently, including a mint in box NES, a ton of games, some beautiful boxed, right?
I put them all back here for safety things.
Look at this. These are all boxed NES, Sega Genesis. Check out our Instagram because there'll be pictures of those coming up.
Oh, what's this? Mega Man. Oh, it's just Mega Man.
Just
knit
Mega Man.
box. No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends are coming in. We got a big show coming up a week from tomorrow. Pray for good
Lex
weather.
Luthor and Porky Pig! That's the last one!
That's fantastic.
That sounds really great!
Speaking of which, that's all, folks. It's been Fridays with Andrew.
Come, it's a toy show 1 week away, Memorial Day
We'll be doing a
weekend.
big video for that. Thanks for watching.
Saturday the 26th.
What's your catchphrase?
Go out and read a comic.